What's up, guys? We are going to talk about an ab mat today. What they're for, what they do, why you should use one, and maybe why you shouldn't use one. So the purpose of this is to make sit-ups more difficult. Now, a lot of people think they make them easier. They absolutely do not. And let me show you how. So if I do a regular sit-up without the ab mat, I want you to pay attention to the position of my back when I get to the bottom. So even with my arms reached overhead, I'm in a neutral position, right? Back is nice and flat. As soon as I introduce an ab mat, you're gonna see a pretty noticeable difference in the bottom. Now, you can see my ribs popping out, you can see my back makes a semicircle, it's in extension. So effectively, what I'm doing is increasing the range of motion that I'm traveling for every single rep. That's why it gets harder. So for the same reason that doing a push-up and going halfway down versus going all the way chest to the floor makes a huge difference, this is exactly why. So this is intended to bridge the gap between a regular sit-up and a GHD sit-up. So if you are a person that is usually looking at sit-ups in a workout and thinking, awesome, this is gonna be my rest, these are so easy, you should be grabbing an ab mat every time, make them a little bit more challenging. On the other hand, if sit-ups are not a strong point for you, stay away from the ab mats. Keep your back flat on the ground, that will make them a little bit easier and allow you to move a little quicker through that workout. Last piece is, do ab mats help decrease the chance of getting the raspberries or the brush burns on your tailbone from doing high rep sit-ups? The answer is maybe. It depends on so many different things. It could be the length of your back, the way you do sit-ups, whether your hips come up off of the ground and go back down. It could even come down to things like the material of your pants. Do they happen to create some friction with the floor, or are they able to glide over it pretty easily? That can all come into account, but if you're a person that is very prone to getting those raspberries and you want to avoid them, best advice I could give is make sure you are doing the sit-ups on a surface that's a little bit smoother. It's not gonna catch and rub. So grabbing one of the wrestling mats or the yoga mats or gymnastics mats tend to be a little more slippery than this rubber floor. Again, it's not a 100% effective strategy, but it is something to try if you're worried about that. So anyway, if you need to make sit-ups more difficult, grab an ab mat. If you need to make them a little easier, lose the ab mat.